Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a man who lived on top of a dazzling waterfall that came rushing down big rock formations, the apparent guardians of the jungle, covering the coastal mountains of a land called Mexico. Even though the man didn't possess material wealth, he lived like a king amidst the riches of the abundant nature that surrounded him. Over time, he acquired many names. Long ago and in another land, the elders had bestowed him the name White Eagle of the Bear Clan. There were those who called him Don Gallo, Don Rooster, or Don Casanova, because, they whispered, he had a way with women. This was true, but even though he was not devoid of desire for the female species, he knew how to be a true friend to both men and women, for he had a great capacity to love. There would be one who would lovingly call him Mountain Man, but most known he became by the name of Bongo Don, or Don Tambor, because he was a skilled drum carver, magically extracting each drum from the woods he loved. When he played his drums, his heart soared, and even from the very first time, it seemed as if his hands were moved by the ancestors. He sought and heard rhythm everywhere, in the many sounds of the jungle, and in the ceaseless cadence of the ocean waves, for he was a sailor too. He was drawn to be near and on the water whenever he could, and declared that nothing grounded him like the ocean. And when he came ashore, after being out sailing for a time, one could see that his eyes were radiant with an iridescent hue of blue, as if they had imbibed the color of sky reflected in water. Many a night one could hear him sing, accompanied by the strum of his weathered guitar, and it mattered not to him whether his audience were people, the critters of the jungle, or the lonesome moon in the night sky. He sang with passion and urgency, his songs revealing his romantic nature as well as his warrior spirit. He was not a man of violence, so this was his way of standing up against the wrongs and corruptions he perceived in the world around him, and of easing the ache they caused in his big, sensitive heart. Where some sold their soul to whatever paradigm in swing, Mountain Man stayed true to his dreams and visions of a better world. Whether for his musical skills or the purity of his heart, or both, the whales that during the winter months dwell in the bay where Mountain Man turned into Ocean Man chose him to pass on their urgent message for humankind. Mountain Man faithfully broadcasted it by the means of a song that became well known and well loved among the people. Far away across the ocean, on another continent, a young woman was not sure of the next steps on her life path. When she heard of the whales coming to the warm waters of a particular tropical bay to birth their young, her heart filled with a mysterious yet crystal clear sense of purpose. She set off on a journey to visit this faraway place. One day she climbed the mountain where Mountain Man lived in his paradise, and came upon his rustic jungle residence. And even at their first meeting, everything about the other seemed oddly familiar. In their exuberance of finding a kindred spirit, they kept talking like old friends until the stars started twinkling in the darkened sky. It seemed that from this first meeting, and even before that, everything around them conspired to bring them together, and that even though they had lived the years preceding this moment without each other's presence, and without knowing of each other's existence, somehow the other had always been there, as an undefined promise of the heart. And when they finally realized they belonged together, and the young woman was overcome with fear and doubt, for they differed vastly in age, Mountain Man smiled and simply said, "I might not be Mr. Right, but I'm Mr. Right now." It was impossible to argue that, and thus those first moments of sweet surrender and being punch-drunk and high on love turned into years, years in which love changed its face but always remained love. Mountain Man and his love taught the woman to be in and embrace the present moment, time and again letting go of all the images in her mind of how life should be, and to trust and follow her heart. Unconditional love creates miracles and helps us surmount seemingly unsurmountable challenges. The biggest miracle created by their love was a beautiful child, the most incredible joint work of art that two artist souls could ever wish to create together. The challenges never truly separated them, and even now that he has been called to leave and go on a journey and mission of his own, the deep and true love for one another ever connects and guides them until they will be reunited once more. Thank you for everything, dear Mountain Man, now Angel Man. Our magical life makes for a great story. And even though I have to end it here, our story will never truly end.